Hi and welcome to this pregnancy yoga session. This session is one that doesn't use any props, so you can do this session if you don't have a birthing ball or a bolster, pillows to hand, anything like that. It's a nice one that you can do anytime and any place. I do have a block here just to demonstrate how you can modify some of the poses, particularly if you suffer with pelvic girdle pain and things like that, but you don't need to have a block with you. So this session is designed to help prepare your body for birth. So it's a perfect one to do in the 3rd trimester, but it's good for any time during your pregnancy. So we're going to begin in a child's pose. So if you want to sit back onto your heels, bring your big toes together and take your knees nice and wide apart. So you've got plenty of space there for your belly to sink down in between your thighs and melt your upper body down towards the mat. So if you do have any pelvic pain at all you need to do is just keep your hips lifted up and maybe bring the knees in a little bit closer so they're not quite so wide apart. So just allow yourself to completely rest down. Allow your head to come down to the mat. If your head doesn't quite reach the mat comfortably, you can make a little pillow with the hands or with the fists. But just allow all tension in your upper body to melt away. Allow yourself to rest down completely. Feeling your hips sinking down towards your heels. Feeling your belly melting down towards the mat, nicely cradled and supported by your legs. And take a moment now to focus on your breathing. Breathing slowly and deeply in through the nose and out through the nose. Inhaling and exhaling. Every time you exhale, feel your body melting further down into relaxation, letting go of tension in the shoulders, in the hips, all the way up the spine. Giving yourself permission to let go. Continuing to breathe slowly and deeply. On your inhale, visualize the breath traveling all the way down to your baby, nurturing them, giving them everything they need to grow and thrive, allowing them to be comfortable and calm and happy. If it feels comfortable for you to do so, you can bring your hands now to rest at either side of your hips, allowing the palms to face upwards. Feeling those shoulders relax and open out. Allow the arms to be heavy, completely melting down to the mat. Maintaining that slow, deep breath, in and out through the nose. Now take your arms back out in front of you, reaching those hands forward, and begin to feel that lovely stretch all the way down your spine. Really lengthening all the way from your hips down to your fingertips. From the base of your spine all the way to the crown of your head. feeling your shoulders spread wide across the back as well. Now just walk both hands over towards the right hand edge of the mat, placing your left hand on top of right. Keep pushing your left hip down towards your heel and feel that stretch all the way down the left hand side of your body, creating space in between those ribs, really feeling that lovely stretch all the way across the shoulder and the hip. Breathing slowly and deeply. And then walk the hands back to centre and take them over to the left. So right hand sits on top of left. Keep pushing your right hip down into the heel and feel that stretch down the right side of your body this time. Really lengthening, feeling that space between the ribs. Breathing deeply into the space that you've created in the side body. And then slowly bring the hands back to centre. And then begin to walk them in towards you as you curl yourself up to seated. Now bringing yourself to a comfortable seated position. If you do have any hip or pelvic pain, you can always seat yourself on a block. So just propping it under your sit bones will just take the hips higher up than the knees, and that will alleviate any pressure on the hips. If this is still uncomfortable for you, then you can sit in an alternative way. You can kneel up, you can have your legs out in front of you. Just find a position that works for you. So whichever position you're seated in, close your eyes and place your hands on your knees, continuing to breathe slowly and deeply in and out through the nose. On your next inhale, take your gaze up towards the ceiling, dropping the head back, stretching out through the front of the neck. And as you exhale, slowly drop your chin to your chest, feeling the stretch in the back of the neck this time. Inhale to look all the way up. Exhale to bring it down to the floor. So moving with your breath in your own time. Inhaling to look up. Exhaling to look down. Remembering to keep that breath as slow as possible. Therefore keeping the movements as slow as possible as well. Feeling that nice stretch moving from the front of the neck to the back. Just taking one more breath in and out. Looking up and down. And then bringing it back to centre. Now taking it over to the right. And then across to the left. So moving with the breath. Again. Inhaling over to the right. Exhaling over to the left. Keeping the movement slow and controlled. Really feeling into the neck. Noticing any tightness or tension. Giving it time to release and relax. Taking one more breath in and out. Bringing it back to centre. Now taking your left hand down to the mat beside you. Inhale to float your right arm up towards the ceiling, sitting up nice and tall and reaching up through those fingertips, but relaxing your shoulders down. So it's a reach up with the arm, but relaxing down with the shoulder. Breathing in here. And as you breathe out, slowly begin to stretch over to the left. So reaching with those fingertips, but using this left hand to keep you nice and supported, so we're not slumping down, we're not putting any pressure or restricting your bump in any way. We're keeping that lovely space across the front of the body. And we're lifting up through that arm. So feel the space all the way down the right hand side of your body. Breathe into that space. Feel that space there across the front and side body for your baby to move. And then inhale to bring the arm back up. Exhale to float it down. Taking it to the other side. Breathing in as you float the left arm up. Sitting up nice and tall, reaching through those fingers. And relax the shoulder down, so it's just the arm that's stretching. Inhale here. And exhale over into that side bend, using that right hand to keep you sitting up nice and tall. So feel those fingertips reaching up to the top corner of the room. Feel that space all the way down the side and front of your body. Keep breathing slowly and deeply. Really enjoy this stretch. Enjoy this space that you're creating for you and your baby. And exhale to take it back down. Bringing your hands in front of you and just making little fists. We're just going to circle those wrists nice and slowly. So don't worry if there are any little cracks or pops here. We're just releasing and beginning to mobilise through your wrist joints. Take those circles the other way. Lovely. Taking the right hand out in front and then bringing the fingers to the floor and just gently taking hold and pulling back on those fingers with the left hand. So feeling a stretch down the wrist, just gently pulling those fingers back, and hold it there for a few breaths, just to allow that wrist to relax and stretch out its muscles. And release. Going to the other side, reaching the left arm in front, turning those fingertips down towards the floor, and then just gently pulling them back with the right hand. So just pulling them back towards your body and reaching forward with that left arm, feeling that lovely stretch. Releasing any tightness or tension there. Just beginning to create that mobility in the wrist. And release. Inhale to float the arms up and over your head. And exhale to bring the elbows down, pushing them back, creating like a cactus arms. And then inhale to lift them up. Bring them back down, really pinching those shoulder blades back together, taking the elbows back. And release and lifting them up. Once more, bringing them down. Think of that lovely space across your chest, across the front of your body. And take them back up and float them back down by your sides. So we're going to come into a tabletop position now, coming onto your hands and knees. So take your time to get there. Remember, there's no hurry with any of this. If you need a little bit of extra padding under your wrists or your knees, you can always roll the edge of your mat over, or you can use a folded up blanket or something underneath those knees and those wrists, just to give yourself a little bit more padding. So you want to take your knees a little bit wider than your hips. If you do have any pelvic pain, you can keep those knees a little bit closer together, probably underneath the hips, but everybody else take them a little bit wider just to create more space in the pelvis for your baby. And we're going to just take our right leg back now, so keeping those toes down on the floor and just kick back through your heel, so feel that stretch all the way down the back of your leg. So reaching back, releasing any tension, lengthening out those tight hamstrings. Okay, now we're going to take this right leg and we're just going to cross it over onto the other side of the left. And then we're going to turn to look over our left shoulder, so we're looking down towards that foot. So feeling the left shoulder and the left hip squeezing together. And then bring the head back to centre, bring the leg across, and the knee comes back in. Taking it to the other side now, straightening out that left leg, keeping those toes down on the mat and kicking back through that heel. So just lengthening, stretching out that hamstring, just releasing any tension. Remember to keep up that lovely slow breathing in and out through the nose. And then when you're ready, take that left leg across the other side of the right foot and take the gaze over the right shoulder, looking back towards that foot. So feeling the right shoulder and the right hip just gently curving towards each other as if you're making a gentle C shape with your spine. Keep breathing slowly and deeply into the pose. And release. Bring that knee back in. So we're going to take our right leg out to the side now. So nice straight leg out to the side. And then we're going to slowly walk the hands forward, just allowing the chest to melt down towards the mat. Relax the head down as well. So if you feel any discomfort here in your hips, just keep the knee in and down on the mat. So don't stretch the leg out to the side. But you should be feeling a nice stretch down the inside of that right thigh. And a stretch down your back as well. And then slowly walk the hands back in. And gently bring the knee back in as well. Moving to the other side, so taking the left leg out to the side. And then walking the hands out in front. Feeling that stretch. Relax the head down. Feel your chest melting down towards the mat. Keep breathing, releasing any tension in your shoulders and your jaw. Feel yourself melting down towards that mat. And then slowly walk the hands back in under the shoulders and bring the knee back down as well. So we're going to take our right leg behind us once again with the toes down. Gently just turn the left feet back a little bit so you're a little bit more stable. And then we're slowly going to begin to lift the right hand up. So if this feels at all wobbly, just keep the hand down. But if you feel okay, we're lifting the hand up and we're going to inhale and float the arm up towards the ceiling and then over your head, feeling that lovely big stretch down the right side of the body. Remember, we're always creating space down the front and side of the body in pregnancy yoga. We want to make as much space for your baby to be able to move around as possible. And then inhale the arm back down. Float it back down to the mat. Pivot that left foot and bring the right knee in. Taking the left leg out behind. And then dropping the heel. Gently pivot that right foot a little bit further behind you. Keeping the right hand down on the mat this time. And we're going to gently float the left arm all the way up towards the ceiling. And then over your head. Really lengthening down the left side of your body. Remember, if this feels at all wobbly, just bring the left hand back down to the mat. Reaching and lengthening, breathing all the way down the side of that body. And then inhale, bring the arm back up, float it all the way down, and then bring it back down to the mat. So we're going to do like a side lunge now. So this is not advised if you do have pelvic girdle pain, so you might want to just skip this one out. But if you don't, it's a really nice one for opening the hips, and it's a lovely pose to use when you're in labour as well. And all we need to do is keeping the left knee exactly where it is. We're going to take our right foot and we're going to step it out to the side, opening the knee out to the side. So you want your knee to be over your ankle. And keep both hands down on the mat. And we're just going to gently rock the weight towards the right hand side. So those hips are just moving across and back. So we're opening up the hips to the side. We're creating lots of space in the pelvis. So encouraging your baby to descend down into the pelvis, nice and deep. Giving them lots of space. And then bring that knee back down. Taking the left foot out to the side of you this time. Remembering to have the knee above the ankle. Keep both hands nice and firmly planted on the mat and just gently rock the weight from side to side. Feeling the hip opening out to the other side. So this is a nice one to use in labour because you can alternate from side to side. So depending on what position your baby is in, you might find more relief on one side than the other. And it's really important to listen to your body, and whatever feels right for you at that time will also be right for your baby. So this is just another couple of poses to add to your toolkit for when the time comes. Lovely, and then bring that knee back down. And just slowly walk the hands in towards you to sit yourself back on your heels. Bringing yourself to a stand now. We're going to do a few standing postures. So these are designed to strengthen your legs. So really important that we give those legs that little bit of strength that they will need, that little bit of endurance, which is really, really helpful in labour. So bring your feet about hip width together. So we're maintaining that space in the pelvis. We're not bringing the feet too closely together. And then we're going to float the arms up towards the top corner of the room. Really reaching with those fingertips, but relax the shoulders back and down. And then we're slowly going to begin to sit back as if we're sitting down into a chair. So relaxing yourself down, but feeling that strength in those thighs. So those thighs, those quads are going to kick in, really beginning to work. So your weight should be going into your heels now. You could lift your toes up if you want to, just to make sure the weight's going into the right place. And keep sitting yourself back and down, but keep reaching up with those fingertips. If this feels too much for you, you can release the arms down and just place them on your thighs for a little bit of support. So you've got a couple of options here. We're just going to take one more deep breath in and out here. Inhaling and exhaling. And then stand yourself back up. Relax your arms down. Just shake them out. So we're going to do that once more. So we're building up that strength in those thigh muscles. Inhale to float the arms up to the top corner of the room. Relax the shoulders back. Reach the fingertips forward. Slowly begin to sit yourself down, keeping the weight in the heels. Feeling those leg muscles kicking in, nice and strong. Breathing deeply here. Inhaling and exhaling. Focus your attention on the breath. Take your mind away from any discomfort you might be feeling in those leg muscles. Stay focused on the breath. One more inhale and exhale here. And release, standing up and then dropping the arms down. Have a shake off. Well done. So we're going to take our feet nice and wide now. Turning the toes out about 45 degrees. Now if you suffer with pelvic girdle pain, you're going to want to miss this one out because we're going to come down into a squat, which is a very deep hip opening stretch. So slowly begin to bend the knees, sliding your hands down the legs, and then bringing your hands down to the floor if they can get there. And then I want you to slowly lower your hips down as much as they can. So maybe you find that you can squat all the way down with your heels on the floor. Or maybe you find it easier to come up onto the toes. So whatever works for you, just allow those hips to sink all the way down. If this is quite difficult for you, if you feel a little bit wobbly, you can use a block or something like that and just place it underneath your sit bones, just so you can sit back on it, just to provide you with that little bit of extra support. But if it feels okay for you to sit like this, then we're going to spend a few breaths in this pose. So the squat is a really great pose to prepare your body for birth. Now, we tend to not spend a lot of time in a squatting position in the Western world. However, in other societies, it's very normal for them to have their body in this position, and then what we tend to find is that the body is just better prepared for birth if you're used to sitting like this, because your hips are very open, and this is the most natural way to have your baby. So we want to make sure that your body is comfortable in this position. So using your elbows just to kind of gently press your knees open and just allowing yourself to relax here. So you can hold it still, or you can kind of rock from side to side, keep it moving, just whatever feels best for you. But allowing yourself to be comfortable in a squatting position if you can is really beneficial in preparing your body for birth. So if this is tricky, you can hold on to something in front of you to stop yourself from going backwards if you feel a little bit unstable. Or alternatively, you can do this with a wall behind you and just slide yourself down the wall so you've again got that support. So there are lots of different options for squatting, but it is, I think, the best pose you can do to prepare your body for birth. And then slowly bring the hands down to the floor, and we're going to very gently come back out of it. So taking your hips up, sliding your hands up your legs, bringing yourself back to standing. Shuffle the feet in, taking those feet hip distance apart. I'm going to turn to the side once again so you can see properly. We're just going to keep these hands on the thighs, and we're going to bend the knees slightly, so we're not coming into our chair pose again, we're just gently softening those knees. And as we inhale, I want you to slide your hands up your legs and bring your shoulders together, gently looking upwards, so rounding that back. And then as you exhale, slide those hands down towards the knees, feel your shoulders sinking forward, drop your chin to your chest. Inhale to slide the hands back up the legs. Bring those shoulder blades together, looking up. Exhale to slide the hands forward again. dropping the chin to the chest. So we're doing a standing form of cat-cow here. So a lovely stretch all the way through the back. But as we do this, we're gently strengthening those leg muscles. Okay, so this is definitely a 2-in-1 pose. We're getting lots of benefits here. Exhale to round. We're going to do one more. Inhale and exhale. Slowly flowing from one to the other. And then slide the hands back up and straighten those legs and give those legs a little shake out. For our final section, come to a seated position once again, and this time we're going to bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees open out to the side. So the feet can be closer towards you or further away, so just experiment and see what feels best with your hips. And obviously, if you have got any hip problems, moving the feet further away will make them feel a little bit better. So just taking hold of the feet and just gently allowing those knees to sink down towards the floor. So just gently beginning to open up through the inside of those hips. Sitting up nice and tall, take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, gently bring yourself forward, just slightly. So using your hands just gently to pull yourself forward. So we're just keeping a nice flat back and just coming forward slightly. So you should begin to feel a pinch in the inside of your hips. And then relax the head down. Allow the shoulders to soften and round. Just completely allow yourself to rest forward, surrounding your bump. Keep breathing. Allow your hips time just to release any tension. Allow them to gently open up. Breathing slowly and deeply for 2 more breaths. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose. Inhaling slowly and deeply and exhaling. And then slowly begin to sit yourself up again, nice and tall. So keeping your left foot where it is, we're going to straighten the right leg out to the side. So we're bringing the sole of the left foot just so it's in line with your inner thigh. Keeping your right hand just somewhere on the inside of this leg, we're going to take the left hand and place it just beside us and slightly behind. Using that hand to keep us sitting up nice and tall, we're going to take a deep breath in, sitting up nice and tall, lengthen through your spine. And as you breathe out, slowly begin to twist round to look back over your left shoulder. So using this hand here on the inside of your right leg just to gently push and twist you around. So we're twisting in a very open way here. We've got lots of space for your baby. It's a feeling of opening up across the chest, of drawing that left shoulder back, feeling that lovely twist through the spine, but still maintaining that length and that openness across the chest and the front of the body. One more deep breath in here. And then exhale to come back to centre. Switch your legs over, straightening out the left leg, bringing the right one in, and just placing the sole of the foot along the inside of that left leg. Keeping the left hand again on the inside of the leg. Take the right hand, place it down beside you and just slightly back. Inhale to sit up lovely and tall, nice and lengthened through the spine. Exhale to twist round again, using that left hand just to gently push against the leg to help you twist. Looking back over your right shoulder this time. Feel that right shoulder leading back. Feel the shoulder blades drawing back together and the space across the front of the chest and your belly. Keep breathing nice and deeply here. Keep sitting up nice and tall. Feel that lovely twist in the spine. Feel that space across the front of your body as you breathe in deeply and exhale. One more breath in and exhale to come back round to the centre. Bringing your feet out in front of you now, so straightening those legs. You might want to just give the knees a little bit of a bounce just to let go of any tension there. So we're going to take our right leg, we're just going to bend it, sliding the foot in towards us, and then take that foot and cross it on top of your thigh. So it wants to be just above the knee, so don't rest it down on the knee joint itself. We want to protect the joint. Just allow it to rest down into the muscle just above the knee. So this is figure 4 pose. We're gently allowing gravity just to lower this right knee down towards the floor. So as we do that, we're opening through the hip, and it's a stretch across the outer hip this time. So this is a really nice one for if you suffer with sciatica, because it stretches out the piriformis muscle across the outside and back of that hip. So just holding this here and giving it time to release will be enough of a stretch. However, if you want to increase the stretch at all, you can just place your hands down on the floor beside you and slowly begin to bend your left knee. So as we slide that foot in towards us, the right foot comes up. So this will very much be dictated by how much space you've got in front of you based on the size of your bump. But if it is an option for you and you want to intensify the stretch, then just gently slide that left foot in towards you, bending the knee, and notice how the stretch does increase in its intensity. So wherever you are with this pose, just hold it for one more breath, in and out. And release. So gently use your hands to help that foot off as we straighten it out, and then begin to do the other side. So bending the left leg, crossing the ankle over just above the knee, and again give it some time. Allow gravity to do its work and just gently open up that hip. So we're not pushing at all on the knee or the leg, we're just letting it gently sink down towards the floor. Now, if you find that this is a little bit uncomfortable in your leg, if you have a particularly bony ankle joint maybe, then you can just place a little bit of padding under there and it still works really well. So stick with this, or if you want to, there's always the option to start bending that right leg by sliding the foot in towards you and drawing this left foot up towards you as well. So just hold it here for 2 more breaths, breathing into the outside of that hip, sending the breath there, allowing that joint time to release its tension. 1 more breath. And release. Give those knees a little bit of a bounce up and down. So we're going to come into our final resting pose now, our Shavasana. So give yourself the time now to get comfortable. Find a lying down position that's nice and comfortable for you. So it could be lying on your back with your upper body propped up on some pillows and cushions, or you might take a side lying Shavasana, lying on your side. So I'm going to demonstrate the side lying Shavasana for you. I'm going to use a block, but you can use pillows or cushions or anything that you have to hand. So just lie down on your side, reaching your arm out. Maybe make a little pillow for your head just for now. We're going to keep the underneath leg nice and straight, and then placing your block or your cushion in front of you, we're going to bend the top knee and just rest it down on there. So we're keeping that knee lifted so that the hips are nice and in alignment. So we've not got anything that's taking those hips out of alignment, so it will prevent any pain. So this is really good if you do suffer with pelvic girdle pain. And then allow your upper body to rest down completely, just getting yourself into a nice, comfortable position. You might want to close your eyes or just soften your gaze. And give yourself permission now just to let go. So bring your focus to your breath. Observing the breath now, not trying to change it in any way, so we're not consciously breathing in any particular way. We're just letting the body breathe all by itself and observing the inhale and the exhale as it flows naturally. Take the time now to scan through your whole body, noticing where it feels tight and tense, and noticing where it feels soft and relaxed. Bringing your awareness to those areas of tightness and tension, and send the breath down to those parts of the body. As you breathe in, send the air to the areas of tightness and tension, creating space and softness everywhere it goes. And as you breathe out, allow a little bit of that tension just to melt away with each exhale. Bringing your focus now to those parts of the body that feel soft and relaxed. Noticing the sensations of that nice relaxed body part. And then gradually visualizing that relaxation beginning to spread wider and wider from where it began, until eventually it will fill your whole body. That sense of calm and relaxation is washing all over you, and soon every part of you will feel just as soft and relaxed as that first area that you focused on. Spend a few more moments here, allowing yourself to be calm and relaxed, and feeling your connection with your baby. Take this calm and relaxed feeling with you into your day-to-day life, knowing that soon you will meet your baby, and you will do so in a calm and relaxed way. For the rest of your pregnancy, you will remain calm and relaxed. Now gradually begin to bring your awareness back into the body, slowly moving fingers and toes, gently turning your head. And then in your own time, bring yourself up to seated. And we'll finish with one final deep breath in as we take our arms up and over our heads. Bring your palms together and exhale them down to your heart center. Gently drop your chin to your chest and bow down to honor your practice and that of everybody else. Namaste.